All right, hello everybody. How are you doing today? All right, we're going live on a couple different platforms here, just to connect us with as many friends as we can. Okay, great. We're live on right now. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and we're glad to have you here. Let me get my windows where I need them here real quick. Give me just a second. And there we go. Okay, great. So, well, let me ask you guys something. Are you running your business, or is your business running you? You know, we think are running our businesses, but are you answering every phone call? Are you fighting every fire? Is your business dictating the hours that you work? Are you the linchpin? What are you doing? So look, I've been there. I've working long hours, wearing every hat, wondering why it just feels like you can't get ahead, like beating your head against the wall, month after month, season after season. Is this year going to be any better or different? And so today, you know, I'm gonna show you 5 of the biggest mistakes that keep contractors stuck in what I call contractor prison. And hey, by the way, I want to encourage you to post your questions, post your comments, and I'm going to do my best to follow up and answer them. And I might mention everybody who posts a question that we answer is going to get entered in a drawing, and we're going to give away a free ticket worth almost $1,500 to our upcoming Contractor Freedom Summit here before the live stream is over. So Nicholas was yesterday's winner, and he's already registered, and he was so excited. And Nicholas, if you're tuning in today, we're excited to have you at the summit. But the point of this is not to sell you anything, but it's to give you something for free. I'm going to give you some tips today and put you a drawing and give away a free ticket to our summit. So stick till the end. By the way, if you're with me, would you just drop freedom in the comments so I'll know you're here? We're on multiple platforms and I can't see who's what where very well. But if you would just comment freedom, that would let me know that you're here. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in today. So look, I started where most contractors start. I wasn't covered in paint, like most of you guys. I started off doing the carpentry. I had a painter had a paint crew doing the work for me in the early days when we just did painting. But look, I was chasing crews, answering every phone call myself. I was exhausted. My company was growing, but I wasn't free. And it wasn't until I discovered the framework that I now teach, the SOS framework. And the first S in SOS stands for self. And the second the O in SOS stands for others. And I'm trying out this Zevia here today, if you can see that. Zevia creamy root beer. I don't know if it's any good. The jury's out. But SOS means self, others, and systems. That's what changed everything for me, friends. It changed everything. And that's what we're going to dive deeper into at the summit later this month. But, oh, hey, we've got Oscar here. Hey, buddy, how are you doing? Good to see you, sir. Glad you're here with us. So look, have you built a business or have you built a job? We all hear these type of things, if you can't take off from your company for X amount of time, then you don't really own a company, you own a job. Well, there's truth in that. There's a lot of truth in that. I've gone years without taking a vacation in my early days. And I mean, I did what I had to do to take care of my family, but I didn't want to do that for my entire career. I gave up things, I gave up willingly, but it took me longer than I anticipated, and it cost me more than I really wanted to pay in terms of my health and in terms of the time it stole from my family. And, most contractors out there aren't really, they're mainly technicians. And there's nothing wrong with being a technician. But here's the issue. Look, being a technician is valuable. We need skilled craftsmen. But it takes a lot to be a skilled craftsman. But it also takes a lot to be a skilled business person. Okay? And even if you can do both of them, what's nearly impossible is to do both of them well at scale. Now, if you just want to give your life to your business, you can do both of those. So I don't want to tell you what you should do with your life and your business. I can't answer that, but only you can. But for me, I knew that my business was supposed to help me accomplish my purpose in life, not necessarily become my purpose in life. Does that make sense? And so it's hard. If you've been doing the work, it's hard to make the leap from doer to leader. It's hard. It's a mental change. It's a change of skill set as well. And so here's the number one reason. I'm going to say the number one reason. The number one of the 5 I'm going to tell you that keep contractors stuck in contractor prison is because they're doing everything themselves. That's number one. They're doing everything themselves. They get stuck, can't make the leap from doer to leader. And the reason that they can't delegate is not because of lack of people, it's because of lack of systems and lack of trust. And freedom begins, I want you to listen to this. Freedom begins when you stop asking, how can I do this? And start asking, who can do this for me? I'm going to say that again. Change your default wiring in your brain. It's not easy. Instead of asking, how can I do this? Ask, who can do this for me? That right there will be a game changer for you. Now, when you want to delegate to people, so the inability to delegate effectively is the reason that we end up doing everything ourselves. And we need to write everything down, because what gets systemized can get delegated. And if you don't systemize it, you're just going to transfer by word of mouth. Now look, word of mouth and training and on-the-job training, that's all valuable. But you need this standard of written, this is how we do it here. This is how we do it here in my company. And it doesn't have to be verbose, a huge book like this. It can be checklists. It can be simple. So doing everything yourself. If you don't want to do everything yourself, you've got to systemize. You've got to learn how to delegate effectively. And delegating is an art, and it takes time to do it right. But when you do it right, the other person grows, you're freed up to do higher level tasks, and the business continues to advance. That is the benefit of it. Okay, so let's keep going. Here's the next one. I'm going to take it. My mouth's a little dry today. I don't know why. So here's the next one that keep so many contractors stuck in this vicious cycle that keeps them in contractor prison. And it's this, number 2, selling on price. We buy into this lie. Well, just take your costs and double it. If you can just have 50% gross profit margin, that's the gold standard. And man, I need to make my quote competitive. Well, ma'am, we should be competitive with the others. We're not the cheapest, but our price is competitive. Have you ever said that? Contractors say that all the time. And they're selling on price because they don't know how to showcase the value that they create for the prospect. And so most of the contractors that I interact with are delivering wonderful workmanship. They have awards on their workmanship. They go to classes and get certifications on how to do a better job for this or that. And they're wonderful. But then when they go to meet with the homeowner, they don't have a game-winning sales presentation. So they're left selling at low prices. And, have you ever lost a job and they say, well, does someone cheaper? And then later the homeowner regrets it. even though they went to someone else cheaper. Initially, if the homeowner doesn't have a compelling reason to pay you more, they're just going to hire people based on the price. And so here's a statement I want you to think about. This is a truth. Price is the subject of conversation in the absence of value. Now say that again. Price is the subject of conversation in the absence of value. When you can articulate your value in a way where the customer sees that you are different and better than your competitors, that the way you're going to solve their problem is different and better than the others, they are willing to pay more. They are willing to pay more. I was just online with a contractor, gross profit margins in the low 40s. And when it's just you or you and a partner and you're running the business and you're wearing a lot of hats, that's going to work for a period of time. But if you want to truly build a team and gain your freedom, you're going to have to raise your price. Because if you double your business, if you're doing $2-3 million at those terribly low gross profit margins, you're just making your I'll come back to this question here in just a second from Rachel, but you're just going to 10x your headaches. We need to create some margin. Okay, so Rachel from Palatable Paint says, how do you maintain quality as you grow and have to delegate? Well, the way you maintain quality is you set the standard. Here's the standard. Here's how we're going to measure the standard. And then you put someone in charge of it who cares about delivering quality, and you compensate them well for it. And a lot of times we get someone in there, though, but they don't care about the quality. And what's more important, speed or quality? And those are questions we need to answer on our production end. What's our customer expecting? Okay, so back to this, back to competing on price. Look, selling in the home is leadership. It's not manipulation. Okay? When you can sell at a higher price, you can buy your time back when you can sell at a higher price. And here's something that I've discovered in my own research in many years. The companies that have the happiest customers, the highest paid employees, are also the most expensive companies. How about that? And our own data shows that our clients that pay us more and buy our higher tier packages are also happier. Yes, the people that pay more are happier. The data supports it. Okay, so how do you stop competing on price? One, you've got to believe in your price. Two, you might need to raise your price and believe in that raised price, believe in the value that you offer. You've got to help your prospects see it, so you need a solid sales presentation, and really I call it a sales operating system. You need a solid sales operating system. And here's some tips right now. Present your price in person, face-to-face on your very first appointment. If you can't do that, you're already losing sales. So if you're not presenting price face-to-face on the very first appointment, that's your number one thing to do to earn more money, is present price face-to-face on the first appointment. I know you can't do it all the time, but you should be able to do it 95% of the time. And if you can't do that, that's your number one thing that's going to make a difference in your business. Okay, so, by the way, so many times it's like, well, here's, we can do that. It's $10,000. I know it's a lot of money and we're not the cheapest. Okay, that's loser. That's loser. Say something like this. Mr. and Ms. Smith, we can get all of this done for only $10 to $15. Now, when it comes time to pay for the project, would you be paying cash or credit card? And if you offer payment plans, that's another way. But you just assume it. Assume that they're going to buy. Don't cringe. I'm afraid to deliver this price. No. Be confident in your price. Be confident in your price. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Here's the third one. So the first one was doing everything themselves. 2 is competing on price. And here's the third thing that keep contractors stuck in contractor prison. And that's going to be hiring the wrong people. Did I say hiring bad people? No, I didn't say hiring bad people. I said hiring the wrong people. Maybe they're wrong for your company, or maybe they're wrong for the role that you hired them for. You know, it never fails. Talk to a contractor. They're having headaches with one particular employee. The underperformance. And I start asking them questions about the job and about the person, and 99.9% of the time, and I would say 100%, 99.9% of the time, they have the wrong person in the role. If you want a hunter, you need to hire a lion, okay? You need to match the person to the role. And the mistake we make is we hire people based on their industry experience or their knowledge, or gosh, they worked for the vendor. Gosh, they worked at Sherwin-Williams for 20 years. They're going to be the best possible salesperson or project manager for my company. Okay, industry knowledge does not indicate success in your role, okay? What is going to indicate success in the role is going to be their innate talent. Do they treasure internally? Do they want to hunt and win? Or do they like stability? Do they like accuracy? When you can discover what that person needs internally and match it with what that role provides, now that's a game changer, okay? That's a game changer. So look, in a bad hire is going to cost you way more than paying more for a good person. But just because you pay more doesn't mean you're getting the right person. Back in my day, I paid managers and I thought I was getting one thing and I got the other thing because I didn't really know how to vet people according to their talents and their drives. So when you align people to their role and they get to do something that they love doing, or they love solving the problem that job presents. Every role in your company has problems that need to be solved and stressors. And when you get the person who loves solving those problems, that's going to be the game changer, friends. That is the game changer, okay? So let's let me think on this. Oh, by the way, how do we match talent with roles? Well, the first thing we do is we're going to design something we call key result areas. This is exactly, we're going to define in black and white, clear terms, this is what success in this particular role means. I mean, it could be an admin, it could be a call setter, it could be a production schedule, project manager, salesperson, manager, whatever it is. We're going to define this is exactly what this role looks like when it's done well. And then we're going to use the predictable nature of human behavior to identify the ideal person that's going to match that role, okay? We're going to identify this type of person is going to be the best person to do this job. And then from there, we're going to create the bait, like we're going to go fishing. So we're going to use words in our job postings that speak to the heart of that person. Like if you're hiring for sales, do you want to be in control of your own income? Do you want unlimited income with no cap? Do you want to be rewarded directly for the results and the value you deliver? Okay, those things speak to your ideal salespeople. But we end up hiring salespeople that aren't lions, and we end up giving them a salary, and then they don't want to sell because they have a salary they're comfortable with. Terrible, terrible. Now, if you're doing B2B sales, okay, that's different, all right? But if you are in short cycle selling, direct to consumer, to homeowners, you need a lion, okay? So hiring the wrong people. And when you hire right, guys, it took me so long to discover all of this. And when I put it all together in the SOS framework, it changed my life. And it's changing the lives of a lot of other contractors in the Contractor Freedom community. And it can change your life and your business as well. So learn how to hire for talent rather than knowledge, skills, or experience. So that's going to help you get the right people. All right, so number four. How are we doing on time here, guys? Oh, okay. Yeah, we're doing great. We still got at least 10 more minutes here. At least 10 more minutes. Number four. The number four reason that's keeping contractors in contractor prison is solving the easy problems. Look, busyness isn't progress. It's easy to stay busy, and it can feel good. It can feel good to stay busy. I checked off all these things off my list today. But oftentimes staying busy on the easy things is cowardice. And it's productivity. It's laziness in disguise. It's not productivity. It's not moving the ball forward. Some things you may spend time on in your business don't need to be done at all. Leaders attack the very most important, the most difficult problems in their business, and that's how they get ahead. And if you shrink into a corner or bury your head in the sand when you have a problem you don't know how to solve, then you don't deserve to run a business. I'm just giving you some cold, hard talk here. What leaders do is they find the answer. They find the person with the answer. They ask questions. They connect. They learn. And they know they put the hardest problem that they need to solve as the first thing on their schedule every day, and they don't postpone it till the end of the day. That's what they do. Easy problems feel productive, but they don't move the needle. Look, if you're always putting out fires in your business, you're not solving the right problem. The problem you need to solve is what allowed this fire to start. And when you solve that, then you're going to stop putting out fires. And if you're stuck in a cycle of putting out fires, well, it's not like you can just ignore the fires and go solve the problem. You may just have to work overtime for a little bit so that you can put out the fire and fix the system. Be a fire marshal, not a firefighter. So, another good question is, well, Jason, how do I stop being a firefighter and become a fire marshal? Systemize things. Checklists. Almost every problem that we run into in business could have been solved if someone would have paid attention to the right thing at the right time. They skipped a step and they said, "Oh, I forgot, boss," or "Oh, I didn't remember," or "Oh, nobody taught me that." And those things get us in trouble. Drop in the comments, what's the one problem in your business that's a fire that keeps on recurring? Is it people showing up late? Is it not being able to find good candidates? Is it warranty problems? Projects going out of budget? What is it? Let me know. All right, Jorge Ramirez says, how do you add outstanding value? Now, Jorge, I'm not sure I know the full context of your question. I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability here. I think you're talking about during the sales process. And the way you add is outstanding value is, look, what do our clients want? Okay? What do they want? Do they want the lowest price? Or do they want you to save them time, save them headache, peace of mind? Address those things in your sales presentation. Be that company that's going to address the issues. See, we have these surface issues. The surface issue is, well, I've got a stain on my ceiling and I need it painted. Okay, that's the surface issue. Literally on a surface, but the surface issue. What's the bigger issue? Well, gosh, your roof might be leaking and you could be getting mold in your attic. And that water could continue to come down and it could get on your wood floor and ruin your wood floor. So what right now looks like it's just painting a ceiling with a simple roof repair, not a lot of money here, could very easily turn in mold, health problems, and thousands of dollars of additional interior damage. Now you're talking, oh wow, now I'm scared I'm going to lose money and I'm scared I'm going to get sick. Solve the problem that they're thinking about, or maybe show them the problem that they don't see. Okay, Manny says getting the right candidates and warranty problems. And look, one of the toughest things is to get the right candidates. But here's what's even worse. You go through a myriad of resumes on Indeed or wherever, but you don't even know what you need. You don't even know what you need in that role because you haven't defined within clear boundaries what you need and who's going to provide that. So once you decide, once you figure out what you need and who can provide that, now you at least know how to sort through all of the candidates that you're getting. You might be passing up the right candidates because their resume doesn't show the right skills or the right experience. Look, what we do in contracting, it's not rocket science. People can learn it. The right person with the right desire to want to learn it can learn this stuff really fast. And the wrong person who's been doing it for 10 years doesn't ever care about doing it right or learning more. They just want to clock in and clock out and go home and drink a beer. We have to learn how to spot that talent. Now, warranty problems, okay? Warranty problems. Well, you've got to make someone accountable for quality control in your company. Someone needs to be in control of that. Maybe it's the crew chief, maybe it's the project manager, maybe it's the production manager. You may not have all of those roles, but whatever role you have, you need to somehow connect that with a measurement. Like measure how many warranties. Well, we did 50 jobs last month and we got called out on 10 warranties. That's a 20% rate. Okay, we got callbacks on 20%. Incentivize or measure, say, look, we're going to get this down below 5, and anything below 5 on a monthly basis, we're going to incentivize. So there's a few ways to do that. Multiple ways to do that. All right, so here's the fifth thing that tends to keep contractors in contractor prison. Okay, and that is this: a weak vision. You know, when we start out our companies, we don't think that the vision is very important. But here's the thing: that vision is like the foundation of a house. And if you have a weak vision, you're not going to attract the right people. You're not going to have clarity of what you need to do and the decisions that are going to be made on a day-to-day basis. And you might chase every opportunity. Look, when I started my company, my initial vision was, hey, I just need to make ends meet for my family. I need to put food on the table because I'm broke. Okay, I went out knocking on doors. But then when I started building my team, the vision that I cast to those early employees was, hey guys, this is a great business, man. We can make a lot of money here. Come join me, make a lot of commissions or whatever. Well, that was a terrible vision because, added to that is we just want to be the best. We want to be the best and biggest in our area. Yeah, the best. We're the best. We're the best. That's everybody tends to say that. So I attracted a bunch of selfish, money-hungry people who didn't care about me or the company or the other teammates or the client or the vision. All they cared about, the only thing they cared about was their paycheck. I get it. Their paycheck's important. But I want someone that sees themselves partnering with me for many years. And I've got to have a strong vision of where I'm going. You need a strong vision of where you're going. And how does that relate to where they're going with their family and their future and their career? Can they see themselves working for you and growing for the next 3, 5, 10 years and more? Do you have a vision that will grow and allow them to see that? Are you the type of leader that they want to follow? These are the questions I was asking myself. And I said, you know what? I want to become the type of leader that great people want to follow. That's what I determined that I wanted to do. I wanted to become the type of leader that great people wanted to follow. And I still aspire to be a great leader. I am a student of leadership and a student of sales and a student of people skills for the rest of my life. Weak vision. Could you tell me your company's vision in one sentence? Post your company's vision in the comments. I'd like to see your company vision. And when your vision is going to attract the right candidates and repel the wrong candidates. And your core values play into that, and there's a number of things that play into that. Okay, friends? So, did you see yourself in any of these mistakes? Look, you're not broken. You're just missing the blueprint. Like all of us, you're just missing the blueprint. And I want to invite you guys, if you want to solve these problems and more, we are going to address every single one of these at the upcoming Contractor Freedom Summit right here in Allen, Texas. Just 2 weeks away, October 27 through 29 at the Contractor Freedom Summit. Would love to have you and your spouse, your team join us. And this is where you can begin the journey to freedom. You can begin the journey to freedom right here at the Contractor Freedom Summit. And if you drop Summit, just drop Summit in the comments, and we'll make sure that you get the link. Maybe my guy Aiden's watching in, and he'll go ahead and drop the link anyways. So, what's one area that's holding you back? Is it self? Do you need to become a better leader with a better vision? Is it building that team? Is it others? Is it your systems? Is everybody freelancing, doing everything the way that they think is best, and you've got different people doing things a different way? Maybe that's the problem. Type it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Okay, I see Oscar Vision wants to be the most trusted painter. I like it. Trust, that's a good word. Trust is the currency of business. Trust is the currency of business between you and your clients, you and your vendors, you and your employees. Actually, it's the currency of all relationships in life. Trust. So look, friends, don't stay stuck another year. Look, you've worked too hard to be stuck behind prison bars of your business. Look, freedom's waiting for you, okay? Freedom is waiting for you, and all you have to do is come to the summit, and you'll get started. So, okay, I'm gonna ask Aiden, if Aiden would pop in here. Aiden, can we do a drawing and go ahead and pick a winner today and give away that free ticket worth $1,497? All right, here it is. Okay, he's about to click to spin. Spinny spin. Oscar. Okay, so Oscar, I think Oscar, you're already registered. So here's what you get. If that's the same, Oscar. If you already have a ticket, you get an additional ticket that you can bring another teammate with, or you can give it away to a friend or something like that. But to claim your prize, just connect with me directly on the platform and send either me or Contractor Freedom. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to send your email and your phone number. And I'm going to have someone call you and get you registered. Okay? And I think that was Oscar. So I think we already have your information. All right. So, okay, just a couple closing thoughts here with you. By the way, we're going to be back here live tomorrow. And the time tomorrow where we're going to go live is, I'm going to tell you, we'll be back here tomorrow live, I believe at 1:45. We're going to be an hour later tomorrow. And I'll be sharing some more nuggets with you tomorrow. So tune back in. I really appreciate you guys listening. And I hope you've gotten some value from today. And look, if you don't follow me on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, whatever, follow, and you're gonna get more content like this. So until then, God bless you all. Wishing you much success. We'll see you tomorrow.